Yeah, if you do have that battery of other spells and your enemies are either incapable or not bright enough to try to incapacitate you in some other way,
Then
then
are we having a
yeah,
17th level encounter?
I don't know. Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Invulnerability.
Yeah, this is a big one. You can't die. You're Hercules, you're
Oh, you can die, you just can't get hurt.
you just can't get hurt. Correct. This is a ninth level spell. Who's it for, Bob?
Let me pull it up. It is for wizards, and that's it.
Just wizards. Oh, you love to see it. So
Oh,
yeah,
you know
this
it's even worse. Not
mm,
only is it just for wizards, but the range is self, so
oh yeah,
it's really just for
just for
wizards.
wizards. Unless they have fine steed, and then it's for their horse too.
Oh yeah,
This that's actually kind of hard to do because it's the ninth level wizard spell. Anyway, I guess your three levels are in paladin. No, your three levels are in I don't know. I don't know how you get this on your fine steed, but you can find a way. I believe in you, commoners. This spell is cast off an action, range of self,
you
concentration's
you you
10.
wish.
You wish for fine steed, get a horse, and then long rest, and then vulnerability you and the horse. Perfect. We figured
Yeah.
it out.
All right.
Excellent. Okay. Anyway, concentration's up to 10 minutes, and it's only 10 minutes. This spell is fortunately very short. It says you are immune to all damage until the spell ends. That's it. That's the
That's
whole
it.
spell description. Uh so this spell's interesting.
Yes.
I don't know how good it is, but it's really interesting,
Well,
right?
I think it's pretty good because I mean, you are not invulnerable. You still can suffer from conditions. You can suffer from exhaustion. You can be grappled.
Yeah.
You can drown. Any number
All
of
these
things
things are
can
true.
still kill you. However, not being able to take damage means your concentration is pretty well protected.
Yeah. You don't make any concentration checks based off taking damage from this thing because you
Yeah.
don't take damage. Because you sure are immune to all of it.
Yes.
But like, this kind of has the stone skin problem in that like this is really good at defending its own concentration, but I would want to defend a different concentration that's proactive most of the time, right? Like I would love for this to defend my concentration on an 8th level summon spell or something, right?
Mhm.
It defending my concentration, I can't take damage as a character that's not trying to take damage. I
Oh
get a
wow.
lot more iffy on it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize this was a concentration spell.
Yeah. So you can't
That
have something
yeah.
else up.
Okay. Okay.
You can't like have your again, let's go with conjure minor elementals up and this. You can
All right.
only
That takes
have
it
this
down a
up,
notch.
right? So it's
Yeah.
interesting, but like, what do you do with it? I think most of the time the answer is I want to be an invincible hero and I cast invulnerability on myself, step into the middle of combat, and just start slinging fireballs on myself because who gives a shit? I can't take damage.
Yeah.
But that's like not necessarily powerful. Like if fight breaks out, right, and the rest of your team dies and you don't, and I have a hunch they can still handle you, right? Like I have a hunch the villains can still find a way to incapacitate you. You'll run out of resources eventually. They'll just outlast you or outgun you or whatever, right? They'll
Well,
pin you
depends
down. You
on
can't cast spells, mute you, do any other number of things, right?
depends on how far into the battle you're using this. Like if everybody died, hopefully they made some meaningful contributions first.
Yeah, but like you have had more meaningful contributions if your ninth level spell and concentration wasn't dedicated to this, right?
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. An all defense option is clunky, and it really is just all defense. And again, you're not trying to take damage. Maybe you're blade singer, right? Like maybe you're doing the I attack a lot, I do want to be a frontline wizard. I try and draw a lot of fire, and they just find out it's not working. Cool. That's definitely awesome looking, just to be the demigod running in there with two swords, stabbing and slashing everything in a whirl of blades, casting big explosive spells while you do it, and then they come in and try and hit you back, and their blades just harmlessly bounce off the tiny little elf. Like, that's an awesome look.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better than just raining meteors from the sky and killing a lot of things and not endangering myself in the first place, right? I just don't know if it's better than the big, high impact, like proactive tools that the game is offering you, especially if anything has ways to break your concentration otherwise, right? If something drops you unconscious, if something paralyzes you and just removes you from the fight, if you get slept, if you get, if you get dominated, this is a real bad news bear situation for your team, right? Because they can't free you from the dominate person by dealing damage to you because you can't take damage.
Right.
Which is like, this spell actually is kind of reminiscent to me of Anti-Magic Field, where it
Hmm.
is really powerful, but surprisingly niche because of the little hiccups that pop up here and there. With Anti-Magic Field, it's more apparent because it's like, oh, I can't cast spells. But with this, as you can't have concentration or a ninth level slot, and people can't knock concentration off you if they need to. People can't damage you if they need to, which is a real big mitigating factor for some other mind control and stuff effects. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I
It
would love to try it
it could
out,
be
but
yeah, it could be fun to do like a Leroy Jenkins kind of thing every
are you
once in a
doing
while.
that on an average wizard though? Then, right?
Well, if you do it without this, then you're toast.
But like those characters don't want to do this anyway, right? Like the tactical wizards aren't the ones that I think would rambunctiously charge into the middle of combat and buck ass naked screaming, profanity. Like that's the barbarian's job. That's the fighter's job. That's not the wizard's ideal. They're
You
hypothetically
know,
intelligent.
well, you can be intelligent and get this spell and then do that just because you can. Like, I've been watching the Barbarian do this for 17 levels.
It looks fun.
I'm gonna take a turn.
Sure. Um, I think this is gonna get a 3 for me because I think there could be power in it. And I think there are some fights where like they just lose to this, where like the wizard is just so powerful and has enough of a spell battery and they don't have ways to interact with it enough that the wizard, even if the rest of the party dies, still just goes, oh, it's okay. I have 8, 7, 6, 5th, 4th, 3rd level slots that will just eventually beat this encounter, and then I'll get you all back up with spell scrolls or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of top tier encounters are going to have other ways to interact with spellcasting. A lot of tier encounters are going to have other ways to deal with characters. So I do struggle to see this really being that powerful in a lot of them, especially given what you're giving up.
Um, I don't know. 10 minutes doesn't feel like that long a time, but if you're using this in combat, that's the combat
Yeah,
plus. And yeah, if you do have that battery of other spells and your enemies are either incapable or not bright enough to try to incapacitate you in some other way,
then
then
are we having a
yeah,
17th level encounter?
I don't know.
Are we still against dumb hill drag? Like I think we've left the realm of idiot bad guys by this stage, right?
One would hope.
Yeah. I guess maybe a Tarrasque isn't necessarily that bright. So it might just like pick you up and just smash you around and throw you against the wall and eat you and just nothing happens.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Like a just colossal monster that just can't kill you and doesn't recognize it can't kill you, so it just like swallows you whole and you just blow it up from the inside. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with
I don't
3.
know. Still three.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a
I'm
rep.
going to yeah. Three is fine. Yeah,
It's reputable. It's reasonable for a ninth level spell, especially.
I'll bump it up to a 4. I feel like you're gonna have fun with this. It's gonna be powerful, but it's not the end all be all. It has there's some chinks in the armor.
Yes.
All right. Well, there we go. That
Oh
was
my God, wait.
invulnerability.
I
What
just
what
read a
what what?
line. This is important. I just read a line
Oh,
on my review that I think is important to mention. Polymorph is hilarious against this because then if someone turns you into a hamster, you can't
yeah.
take damage to no longer be a hamster, so you're just stuck as an invincible hamster. That's
For
amazing.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. I want to see a big bad feel so high and mighty and cast invulnerability on themselves. They cannot damage me. You just turn them into like a goldfish and they just are floundering, unable
That's
to die.
well, no, you could die as a goldfish unless you're in
You put
water.
them in a
All
water
right.
flask. There
Yeah.
you go.
I don't know. Maybe you could just suffer through for 10 minutes as a goldfish. I don't know how the breathing works, but yeah, that would still suck because yeah, you're invincible, but you can't do anything.
Yeah, and your brain's a hamster. Like
Yeah,
you have the ideas and thoughts of a hamster. So what are you gonna do?
not cast all your cool spells,
No,
not in this fight.
nope.
That's it's a good way to counter this,
Yeah,
actually.
this spell's super neat. This is what like I think this hits a really good sweet spot for high level D&D to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That was Invulnerability. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.